Well, guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to Burn the Ship. It's a small entrepreneur business podcast. We got Jeff Stone with us with Lead Lab Magnet again, and we have Steve Highland, and he is a regional director with FCA. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
I didn't flub it up at all?
No.
But we really want to learn more about what you guys are doing at FCA, really learn about your background and how you got the call in to do that. So if you would, go into a little bit of your corporate background first.
Yeah, my corporate background was basically 28 years in Coca-Cola in field.
Small company?
Yeah, small company out of Atlanta,
Regional.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Yes. So 28 years of in marketing, field marketing, and then headquarter marketing, leading channel and retail marketing and merchandising.
Yeah.
Till I retired early at 52 years old.
52.
Yes.
That is an early retirement right there.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard of one. That the one time that I read that the most recognizable two names in the world. One is Coke. Do you know what the other one is?
Jesus. No.
Marlboro.
Marlboro.
Marlboro. That's
Wow.
Those two are the most recognizable names in the world.
Yeah.
And coming from the credit card processing field, that the reason why Visa named their card Visa was the most recognized word in the world because it meant passport.
Visa.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
Visa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why they named it Visa.
Wow, great.
Yeah. So, anyways, well, you know a lot about marketing then, if you've been with one of the largest companies in the world for sure. So, how did you find your way to FCA?
It's definitely a God thing. Basically, I was retired from Coke, and I did worked on a Christian movie called Champion for about 5 years as a producer, and then would just do marketing consulting and things that came up. And then I was actually a volunteer for FCA, working with that baseball team for a few years. And then the board of directors were looking for a director, and they said, "Hey, would you consider this role?" And I had been praying for what to do. And so they wanted me to do it. And I'd always been on the giving side of ministry, helping and giving financially to ministers and ministries. And then all of a sudden I found I'm the guy doing that. So I'm responsible for Cherokee County, Georgia, and with a staff of 12. And again, the most interesting part was I was always a giver. And then they said, "Hey, first of all, you got to raise your own salary."
You got to be a taker.
Yeah, so now I got to ask friends and family and supporters to come along, and then also raise money for Cherokee County for programs that we do with coaches and athletes. So it's a good faith to keep you close to God to have to raise that money, but I know I'm called to do it, so I do it with passion, energy every day.
I'm going to go back a little bit in the Champion. Tell me about that and how you got into helping with that production.
Yeah, I think part was probably my marketing background. The director and producer named Judd Brannon, so he went to church with me at First Baptist Woodstock, and he knew my background. He said, "Hey, would you consider coming on and kind of helping?" And I was like, "It's a Christian movie. It's about forgiveness, and it's a good message of people that are hanging on to and not willing to forgive other people." So it was a dirt track racing background, but it ended up with two characters that both needed to be forgiven and give forgiveness in their situation. So I love the idea of the movie. And the cool thing, even now, the way social media works on YouTube, it just went to Spanish, a Spanish version.
Cool.
If you looked at Champion Spanish version, there's 2.2 million views already of our movie. That's happened in the last few months, but it's all over every kind of platform that you can do, social media, YouTube, and different ways. So it's cool how God really used that message of forgiveness really across the world now on something that we did here in Woodstock, Georgia.
Sure. It's a wild business, the movie business. Just how it all.
I've been through it. I learned a couple things that really the hard part is getting the movie in the can. So that's the big thing. But the other part is to raise the money. The marketing in any kind of movie, the marketing part is paid back first. So one of the things I learned, if you want to invest in marketing or in films, invest in the marketing part, because you always get your money back, whether it's a Hollywood movie or whatever. But again, it's probably not the best and safest investment that you're going to make in your life. Right. But you got to believe in the project. So in case you don't make the money back, you invested into something that'll make a difference in people's lives.
Sure. I have a business mentor that he was one of the producers on a movie with Bill Murray in it, and he found out real quick that the producers get paid last in a lot of those films. They don't get paid for it. They're the last people to get paid.
Yeah.
So
producers are really the name is the producer is not the guy that goes action. That's the director.
That's right.
The producer is the one that raises the money.
That's right.
So I guess part of what Judd wanted me to help with.
The executive producer raised the most money, or gave the most
probably
money.
gave it or getting. Yeah. But I still remember a quick story that the first time we actually did our marketing brochure, and we met down with our first investor, and and he said, "Oh man, that sounds good. I like what you're doing, and all that." And he goes, "I'm good for 3." And we both were, "Oh, thank you, sir, so much for doing that." And it's like, okay. And
you were thinking 3,000.
Well, that's what we got. What does that mean? What did 3 mean? Did it mean 3 shares of 25,000? What did it mean? So I'm like, Judge, you got to call him and just say, sorry, we just don't understand what 3. And so he called him and he said, yeah, 300,000. So we were trying to raise $1 million. The first person invested 300,000 in our movie. So, but it was, when you're in business, it is a lot about casting your vision, what you're trying to do, and having passion behind it. So other people, when they hear that vision, they want to jump on and be a part of what you're doing. So.
Sure, yeah, 3, that's an ambiguous thing. Like 3,000, 300, 300, 3 million?
Yeah, I went home and told my wife.
I thought you were going to tell me 3 million. I was like, what a killer guy.
Yeah, but at the first call, when you a third of your budget is basically taken care of in your first sales call, I can get you a little cocky or something. It's like, I think we're doing good. But
in the money raising business is you got to forget that. You got to forget about that one, just like you forgot about the bad calls. Because you still got 700,000 to raise.
Yeah, and my wife, I told my wife about it the first night, and she goes, "Yeah, it's actual 3. He meant $3." I said, "No, I don't think it's $3." So it's like
pretty funny. How is that dovetailed into what you do at FCA? Is that a complete connection point between what you did there and how you look at FCA?
Well, and I think it is, whether you're Coke or FCA, a lot is developing your vision for what you're doing. So you say, here's what we're trying to do. Here's our objective. And then kind of here's our situation where we're at. And then we develop strategies to go up to fulfill that objective or vision. So as an example, in FCA, it's kind of the same way. It's like you have to create, as the leader, you have to create the vision and the objective of what you're trying to do, and then come up with the best strategies based on your resources and what you're doing to get you to that goal. So I think I was able, through my experience at Coke and then with the movie, to come into FCA and put together a plan. They said, hey, we want a strategic plan. And within a week, I did the strategic plan, and it wasn't hard for me at all. But a lot of people have trouble trying to get that, but they want to start doing stuff and not have a real plan. So,
sure.
And I'd be willing to help anybody that wants to understand how to do that. It's not really hard once somebody shows you how to do it, but when you have that passion, you got to be able to put it on a piece of paper or some way to communicate to the other people like what you're trying to do.
That's right. And what is your day-to-day like at FCA?
It's really it's great and it's challenging. So there's different. So the first thing, my responsibility is to be a leader of a team of 12. So I want to lead well and have that vision, so they are clear on what our vision is and what our key objectives are. I try to keep it really, really simple. What we try to do is to help the coaches and athletes grow in their relationship with Jesus. So that's our overall kind of objective, our vision. And with our team going in this year, I've got it two simple things. We want to increase our community sports effort, and we want more volunteers. So 2 key things that we're all working on, and clearly communicate that, and then make sure everybody understands the direction we're going, and then go.
So do you mostly focus on the high schools, or y'all in the middle schools? And how often do you visit those guys? And
we have coverage for with our staff in all the high schools. And one of the things we're trying to do is expand the effort, both older and younger. So we call it community sports. So the baseball teams, the baseball academy, the golf academy, to try to get people in there doing devotions and character development in the younger. So we go young, but we're also looking at places like gyms, HEW, the gym that Jeff and I go to. We got golf, and we'd like to do golf leagues and things that we're working on for adults also. So we're trying to expand the role of coaches. A lot in FCA, a lot of the work is high school level and maybe college. So we're trying to go younger and older to just impact more people in Cherokee County. So,
and the money is to pay for those 12 people, right? That's
well, we do that ourselves. That our networks and to fund our own salaries, but we also do like for coaches marriage retreats. We do football and different sports clinics. We do usually weekly meetings in all the public schools in Cherokee County, where we have an FCA usually Friday morning, and we'll bring food. So there's a lot of Chick-fil-A biscuits consumed. So so we do anything to help the coaches and athletes grow in their relationship with Jesus. So and we take them where they're at and help any way we can to encourage them. And then obviously character development's a big thing now in schools, just to have a positive influence, a Christian influence in public schools and private schools.
Sure,
is great. So,
can I ask a question? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Shoot.
So how do you take this move forward with raising funds and marry that to the community of businesses that are out there and bring those businesses into the fold so that you can actually both share your vision, but at the same time bring them in on a business capacity?
Yeah. Well, and I think it's kind of the same way that I'm talking about with of really being clear on what your vision is. Because, again, what we want is to invest in young people and see them grow in their relationship and their faith. And same thing with coaches. So if you have that vision, you're clear about it, and you talk to a person who is a business owner, and they have the same passion to see kids and a lot of them, the people that have the most passion were influenced in high school or middle school by FCA. So they I know what you guys do. I want to see more of that in our schools. So a lot of it is personal. But it's also branded too, because they realize if they work with us, that's a positive thing with their company. So I think it is more person to person, and then they're willing to involve their businesses or like we have a guy, Drew Tutton, so he uses his business as a platform for his faith, and he takes money that he makes from his company and almost treats it like it's personal money to give it to for community effort. So he gives a lot of money to charitable causes to make impact into the community, because he was impacted himself by a coach in high school that changed his whole life and his where he was going in life. So I think it is a lot. It's personal that people make it a business thing and want to connect what we're doing with what they're doing, because they're connected to the impact that we could have to change kids' lives and coaches' lives in Cherokee County, and they want that. So.
I always, how did you guys meet?
We met at HEW at the gym that we both attend. So I got to know Jeff, and it's like immediately he felt like a friend, like a good buddy. So we've been communicating ever since. So
we're all two old guys trying to
work out, lift weights, pump the iron.
We're gonna bring John in here. You'll meet John. He's the guy who owns the gym. But yeah, okay. He's the torture guy. He's somewhere in his past life. I don't know where it is, but he learned how to really make you feel hurt. He really
feelings and physically.
Do you know what HEW stands for?
Hugh.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too.
All right,
hard exercise works. So
hard exercise works.
Yeah, I'm in there 4 days a week. So
that's great.
It hurts you.
But it's a good example. Like, it seems like it's painful, but if you got to put the effort in to get the results you want.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, after you guys get that hard impact in, then you can come here and take an ice bath. I got an ice bath on my back porch here.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
we have one on the back porch.
Oh, really? So
that's a good thing.
Knock down the swelling.
Yeah.
They hurt, but they're good for you.
Yeah, they're good.
They're really good for you. Well, tell me about some events. I know the FCA I've been to I know a dozen FCA golf tournaments over the last 10 years at least. I've went to the Paulding County one. We have an FCA guy that comes to our SIP events. He's in the West Cobb area. But tell me about some of your golf tournaments. When are they? What are you looking for, sponsors wise, all that?
Well, on events too, we try once a year to do a major event to not only to have for donations but to really try to impact the community. So just 2 examples that we've had in the last few years is we had Tim Tebow come a few years ago.
Who's that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Tennessee fan.
For people that don't know, outside of the Gator Nation, he's a major quarterback, and he came and he shared his story along with some other people. So we try to impact the community, and our community was impacted by his story and the impact that he had for that people that came. If you don't know Tim Tebow, I saw it because I was with him the whole night. This one lady had a daughter about 30 years old who with special needs, and she was dying. She said, "Can I come in? Is there any way we can get in to see him?" So I arranged to do that, and I was in the room. And as soon as that girl walked through the door, I mean, it was just like Jesus was there. He bent down and, "Hey, sweetie, how you doing?" And, "Oh, how are you enjoying the night?" And he gave her she'd asked for an autograph, so he did that, and it was. Man, it was the coolest thing to witness.
Tim Tebow is talented in almost everything he touches.
Yeah.
Like the guy's he's a dynamic speaker. Obviously he was a great quarterback and probably maybe the best college quarterback ever.
Yeah.
Definitely, arguably. And he had a really good pro career. People just didn't want to keep giving him chances. I think he ended up with a winning record.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Hey, I'm just going to go play baseball." I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's
very talented.
Well, and do it all pretty much.
So we had Tim Tebow event, and then this summer we had a UGA Night of Champions. So we had 2 actual players, Cedric Van Pran, the center, and then Malachi Starks, the safety, and their humility was just overwhelming. We had them talk, and Ben Watson spoke, Mark Rick. So we had a great community event to actually come out and hear and be motivated by kind of what they're going through. So that's an example of events for the community. And then we also do, like you say, golf tournaments. We're going to do 2, one in April and one in September this year, and we do that to raise funds. So we just get players and business sponsors that'll come that believe in our cause and say, "I'm willing to partner with you because I believe in what you're doing in schools to impact other people."
What are those exact dates and what golf courses?
We're still working to finalize, but it looks the date we're looking at for the spring one is April 22nd at Town Lake Hills, and we're going to do another one in the fall, TBD. But it's our annual. I mean, people are used to the community; they're used to our annual tournaments. So we have a website, CherokeeFCA.org. If you want information on any of our upcoming events, you can go and look at the staff and look at what we're doing, and obviously call me or communicate through that to me, and I can answer anybody's questions.
Any other social hooks that you want to throw out there?
What do you
Social
what do you
medias, Instagram, Facebook? You got any of that?
Yeah, we have all those things. I'd just say go to our website just to connect, and we can do that. Or you can even see the links for social media to that. Cool. Yeah, it seems like what's interesting about, and when you're dealing with kids, it seems like Instagram is the big way that they communicate. And then for people like my age, it's Facebook.
Sure.
So it's like Instagram and Facebook are useful.
Instagram, TikTok is a big one that they communicate on. YouTube, obviously, this will be put out on YouTube, but
yes,
more of a long form, content instead of the short form content. But,
yeah. Well, and we're always open too to fundraising ideas and things that people have to think outside the box, like you guys do at Burn the Ship. It's like we're open to any company that wants to partner. We're ready to think outside the box, market the people we hadn't marketed to. We try to
new conversations,
work with
right? Having new conversations, new people.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It's the lifeblood of most people's businesses is getting out and meeting people, and there's no difference in FCA than running an insurance company.
Well, and I think too, a lot of times you pigeon people based on their current position, but again, I could bring a lot of value to if somebody just wanted to sit down with coffee and talk about how to prioritize channels and in marketing effort, and the difference between consumer marketing and shopper marketing and different things because of my past or the movie business or raising funds. I got a lot of ideas on that. So, and other people have value that they have, like you guys, and they could bring. So the key is some way to get people on the same page to be able to share ideas. And you're willing to, I think in that too, you're willing to give without going, hey, I'm going to give a little bit because I'm going to get a lot from that person, not trying to prioritize a value, but just kind of letting it go naturally and see where the relationships take you. So.
Of course. Yeah, the partnerships are key for every business, I think, is you know, there's enough out there for everybody.
Yes.
And you never know who you can meet and when you meet them, and, you know, who's going to come in your world and change it in a lot of different ways.
Yep.
You know, monetarily as well as emotionally, and help you grow as a person.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I was going to add to this, and you don't know this yet, but in our marketing strategy, we're going to be doing a matching program for all the fundraising nonprofits and all the organizations, charitable organizations. I'd like to add you into that.
Awesome.
And what that will allow us to do
Cash money.
Yeah.
It will. It will allow you to take those things. It will be cash money. It's a good way. But, you know, so we'll be cash, because what will happen is as they market within, like they sponsor your events and stuff like that, we're going to give them a matching against their marketing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we'll be able to give back to those communities. So that's part of our program for the performance marketing, for our partnership with these folks. We give them a chance to ramp up with us, and then during that ramp up period, they've got a chance to join up. We have 12 so far. Fundraisers. Teach one, train one.
Yeah, teach one to lead one.
Teach one to lead one. Those guys.
I actually help them with their marketing plan, and their. I know
awesome.
Lori. Yes, to learn.
So you're a free consultant, this guy.
Yeah, kind of. However
man.
things go. Yeah, that's.
I've had several lunches with Steve. And It's very informative.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like
think
as
about
you're
this, think about that.
as you're working out.
But there-
hey, what do you think I should do?
Yeah. What Jeff, what he's saying too about the finances. So we would take the finances and offer people Bibles. The different teams like Etowah baseballs, all the kids get Bibles, pay for food, send a couple a coaching and his wife or a lady coach and her husband to a marriage retreat, and send kids to leadership camp down St. Simon. So there's a lot of good things that we could tell you exactly if you give us X amount of money,
What you can do with it.
what you can do with it. Because I think most people have a mindset they want to give to, but they want to make sure it's being used for the kind of things they agree with, not just like the director's salary. If they go, I don't really, my thing is I'm going to give you $1,000, but I want it to go against this particular school or this particular thing. We can always do that with the funds that we receive.
Well, you know, in the world we live in, it's nice to know where your money's going if you want to know. And, you know, there's a lot of organizations that are not like that.
Yes.
Where you don't know where it's going. So, you know, FCA has been around for a long time. It's a great organization. You're impacting a lot of kids in a very critical time in their life, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're just now mentally growing. They're young adults trying to make good decisions, but a lot of them make tough ones and bad ones. Because if we all did at that age, we always don't, you know, think real hard about all the decisions we make. But it's people like you and organizations like yours that help them through the times and help them make good decisions.
Yeah, I think right now too in the schools, because of COVID, there's a lot of kids with fear. They're fearful about the future and what's going on, and we can just give them a lot of hope and a place to lean into from a Christian. Lean into Jesus and not be overcome by the fear and circumstances are going through it.
Sure. Well, thank you for coming.
Sure.
This was awesome. I would love to have you back. I'd love to get some emails to your golf tournaments. We probably field a team and play. So just send me all the emails and I'll send it out to our group of people, and you might get some more stuff too.
Awesome. So, well, thanks for inviting me in to come and share. And
absolutely.
Cool. All right.
Burn the ship, guys. Everybody be kind to each other out there.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Thanks so much.